Hi, folks. We're getting ready for the National Football League season. We're going to preview the NFCs. Brian Blessing and Kenny White. Like the format we're using here, hopefully you do too. We start with the coaches, Kenny, and we've got a pretty good laundry list of talent here. Garrett, Shanahan, more or less the newcomers in the division, with Coughlin and Reed, the seasoned veterans.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. Mike Shanahan, 14 years at Denver, 2 Super Bowls. He is 11-21 so far with Washington. He needs to turn this around. Year 3 should be his year, but they are still down in the bottom of the division.
All right, and then we talk about Coughlin and Reed. Listen, Coughlin reinvented himself. He was a military taskmaster kind of guy. Softened his stance a little bit, all we've seen since 2 Super Bowls.
And you're right, 8 years in Jacksonville. He was run out of town there basically because of his military stance and started to get tired of it in New York. 2 Super Bowls, and amazing. Both years were years they came out of nowhere. Again, last year they had to come up with big wins at the end of the season just to get in the playoffs.
What do you make of Andy Reid? Saved last year, and we'll see if, the Eagles are the favorite to win this division. I don't know if we draw a line through it. It was kind of a squirrely campaign. All the guy does is win, yet the Eagles come up short in the biggest moments.
You're right. No Super Bowl championships. 13 years, 8 years, double-digit wins, just 2 years with a losing record. But I think this is it for Andy Reid. If they don't get it done this year and make a run and get to the Super Bowl, we may see a new coach in the city of brotherly love.
Let me throw out the season win totals to you. Philadelphia opened 10.5 down to 10. Giants 8.5 up to 9, even some 9.5. That might get a little quirky. We'll tell you about strength of schedule in a bit. Dallas 8.5 over, a few 9s popping up, and Washington 6 under, up to 6.5. Let me ask you, I guess we'll start with Philadelphia, Kenny. How much of a pass do you give them for what happened last year? Because they were the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a lot is continuity, and they were the dream team. They started off unbelievable, and then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. This year, a lot of the same nucleus back. It's still a very fast team, maybe the fastest team in the NFL. If they could put things together, they are the best team.
Let's rattle off some of the key offseason acquisitions. NFC's was kind of quiet in free agency. Only got about 4 key guys to talk about. But the Cowboys had to fix and shore up their secondary. They got arguably the best free agent corner available.
Brandon Carr comes over from Kansas City. Big, strong, fast, physical. He will make a name for himself. Came out of Grand Valley State. Now he's with the Cowboys.
Cowboys also got a tackling machine in Dan Connor from Carolina.
And Connor is a lunch pail type guy. He comes to work every day. Seems to be getting better as his experience picks up in the NFL.
And then Pierre Garçon goes from Indy to Washington, gives RG3, the rookie, a target to throw to.
Yeah, I really love this pickup. If there was going after a wide receiver, I would go after Garçon. Right now, 25 years old, 6 foot 210, big, strong, and fast.
This selection, or pickup, rather, by the Eagles could be the most important of all, though. Left tackle, such a critical position. For the second time, they pickpocketed the Buffalo Bills. They had Jason Peters at left tackle, hurt, out for the year, so they go right back to the Bills and get Demetrius Bell.
And Bell, the son of Karl Malone, he's built like a power forward. With the left-handed quarterback in Vic, he will not be guarding the blind side, but he is a strong left tackle, and he may be the left tackle for a quarterback, Nick Foles, in a couple of years.
There you go. Let's go to the impact rookies. We'll start with Morris Claiborne with the Cowboys. Dallas traded up to get the best cornerback available in the draft.
Yeah, and he was. Claiborne, the number 1 quarterback, corner in the college ranks. 6 foot, 4.45 speed, 35-inch vertical leap. He's a great cover corner. They'll make a great pair, Claiborne and Carr.
And then we go to Fletcher Cox, the defensive tackle for Philadelphia. And again, we're talking about the Eagles a lot, shoring up key positions. And the one thing Philadelphia couldn't do last year, Kenny, was stop the run. This guy specializes at that.
He does. I love Cox as a run stuffer, but close to 300 pounds. He runs a 4.8, Brian. He will create havoc in the backfield on pass plays.
Super Bowl champs, the Giants went offense. How about the running back from Virginia Tech, David Wilson, and the wide receiver from LSU, Reuben Randall? Can they make an impact?
Well, I know David Wilson's going to make an impact. That was a great pick. More than half his yards last year at Virginia Tech were after contact. He's 5'10", 206, has a 40-inch vertical leap. He's a great athlete.
Plugs a nice little hole, right, with Jacobs' departure, so you still have Bradshaw, that 2-headed monster?
They will have the 2-headed monster. Wilson's going to be a surprise this year.
And quickly, you mentioned Foles. You have to address the backup quarterback position, and I think maybe a lot of times, Kenny, we're guilty, and industry-wide, maybe a lot of people guilty of not talking about the importance of the backup quarterback position. Just ask Indy fans.
No doubt about it. Indy saw the big drop-off last year. Now Foles just a rookie. Would be a huge drop-off if they had to go to Foles this year. If Andy Reid's still there in 3 years with the West Coast offense, Foles is a great fit, just a great pocket passer. 6'5", 243 with a big, strong arm.
NFC East collectively, when you rank the quarterbacks, this division's loaded.
Yeah, I love the quarterbacks in the division. I think right now, Michael Vick's the top quarterback. Eli Manning, we haven't mentioned him at all in the video, but he's right there with Vick. Tony Romo, another one, a B-plus quarterback in my ratings. RG3 would be the big drop-off, only because of inexperience.
How much of a bounce in his step does he get with the success that Cam Newton had last year? It's a different league, right? Kids play.
It is a different league. I could go back 5 years ago, and rookies starting in the NFL, quarterbacks, were only covering the spread at 33% of the time. Over the last 5 years, rookies are actually a little over 50% now covering point spreads.
That is awesome information, and we always get great information, Kenny, from your power ratings. Season ending last year and how you project them out now.
Well, last year the Giants ended at the top of the division. Philadelphia began the year as the top team in the NFL. Right now, Philadelphia, with the talent they have, will be a 102 rating. The Giants at 99, Cowboys at 99, and the Redskins drop off to 94.
And we wrap it up with strength of schedule. The Redskins actually get a little bit of a break in that department, but the Giants, oh, man, Kenny, they're taking it in the head here. Listen to this, home games. At Carolina, or road games, at Carolina, at San Francisco, at Cincy, at Atlanta, at Baltimore. The one break they get is at home. At least they get to play Green Bay, Pittsburgh, and New Orleans.
Sounds like they'd rather be on the road. The toughest schedule in the NFL. The Redskins, the weakest schedule by far in the division. Take a look at that.
It's an NFC East preview with Kenny White. I'm Brian Blessing. We're gearing up for the NFL season in a big way right here at Bookmaker.